Hello! So excited. This is the first live video on the CEO Teacher Facebook page. It's official. Thank you all so much for coming and liking this page. It's all about empowering educators. I'm so passionate about it. I have gotten so many amazing responses to the videos that I made and kind of my motto and my mission, and it's really just encouraged me to keep going. Teachers deserve to be happy too. I didn't even plan on that coming out, but we deserve to be happy in our jobs and to have support and to have mental wellness and to have our own life outside of school. So anything that I can do to support educators, then therefore will also kind of trickle down to students. Happy teachers mean happy classrooms. And, you know, honestly, children are in school a majority of the time. So, something's kind of weird this year. Something's kind of missing. And it's testing season, and I am not stressed about giving a test to 20 or anywhere from 20 to 60 students. I am not stressed this year. I don't have that stress. It's kind of weird, honestly. I really like the numbers game of testing for some reason, but I don't really miss it, I'm not gonna lie. And our students are very happy, so that makes me happy. And we looked at the calendar, and quite honestly, we have a month and a half left. A month and a half left. That is crazy. And I kind of got a little bit sad, and it was kind of weird because I've never gotten sad that school's almost over. This year has just flown by. But I have not forgotten where a majority of the teachers in Texas and in the whole nation are at right now. It is time for testing. Some people in Texas, 5th grade, maybe 8th grade, I think, are even taking their tests next week. The time has come. And so the point of this for today, what I want to say to you is, you did it. You've done it. You've taught all of the TEKS. You covered all the standards. You're there. You have made it. Quit stressing. You've done everything that you can do. If you've loved on those babies and those students and you've built those relationships with them, everything should be okay. And if it's not, you'll be okay too. It's not the end of the world. If you put your 100% into it as much as you could, then that's all you can do. You did the best that you can. I mean, the reality of it is, guys, is that your job depends on these little variables, little being children who, you know, not responsible adults. Your job depends on their performance on one day for 4 hours. Hey, Lakrita. And for 4 hours, and so many other variables could affect that. They may not have had breakfast that morning. You can't control that. Their parents may have had a fight, and their just mind is somewhere completely else. They may not care. They may just all of a sudden decide on that day they're not going to show their work, and everything you taught them is going to go out the window. And you can't do anything about it. So just let it go. The week before the test, they're not probably going to learn anything in these couple of days that are left that they will help them any more or any less, except what you can focus on this week. And this is I think how my students are always so successful on testing, is I didn't just teach the content. You have to teach them the strategies of staying mentally focused for 4 hours or for 2.5 hours or for long periods of time. As an adult, I could not take this 4-hour test and stay super focused the whole time. I couldn't do it. And I tell my students that I couldn't do it. You have to train them to keep restarting their brain over and over. I went to a brain training workshop one time, and it was so interesting. They said, your brain only has a certain amount of time to focus very precisely. So for children, and this may be off a couple of numbers, but for children up to 12, they have a minute of focusing time for however old they are. So if they're 5 years old, they can focus for 5 minutes, and their brain working at the top capacity. up to 12 years old, and then it's like 20 minutes is like the most. Even as an adult, we have 20 minutes to focus or to work really hard or for our brain to be working at the highest level that it can. And then you have to reset their brain. So if you don't know this, a great tip is teach your students, and this is what I teach all my students. When you feel like your eyes are crossing or you're not working your best, or you just want to guess, like, you've got to stop. Take a brain break. And this midpoint on your body, imagine there's an imaginary line going down your body. And if you cross over this midpoint, then it somehow resets your brain. This is what the people from this Brain Institute training taught us, and it really works. So I teach my kids how to do the pretzel, which you clap your hands, you twist your arms, and you roll them up. And you can kind of feel it if you do it, like something kind of sparks. It's kind of interesting. I teach my kids how to do pretzel, how to do that silently at their desk. Just anything you can do to cross your body, cross your legs, uncross your legs, wiggle your toes, go to the bathroom, get up and walk around. Now, don't be wasting a lot of time doing this, but set in your test booklet, set a place where after every 5 questions, draw a line, and you need to take a brain break to remind yourself. Because what's going to happen is your brain power is diminishing the farther you get into it. So if you are 9 years old, you have about 9 minutes of pure focus time. So that could be anywhere, it just depends on the student. I mean, it could be one problem, and then they need to take a brain break for 32 different times, because these tests are crazy long. Or, that they could get 3 or 4 done, but you've got to stop. Teach them this last week just strategies to stay stress-free, deep breaths. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. You are more than this test. And then also, I think the main thing is set goals with them. If you have not already set goals with them, it is not a secret the number they need to make the score that they need. It's not a secret. You can tell them, hey, you can miss 20 problems, or whatever it is. Like, I know 4th grade math, the passing was like a 50 or a 52. That's all they need to pass, 50 or 52. You can miss 14 problems out of the 32. And my math may be wrong. Although I'm a math teacher, I'm very horrible at math. You can miss 15 problems, and you are still going to pass. So you need to write this on the front. How many question marks you can have. Teach them this. Give them their magical number that they need to get where you want them to get. For them to meet growth, or for them to meet approaches, for them to master the test. Like, you can have 5 question marks to make an 82 or to make an 85. You can not know 5 questions, and that's okay if you aren't sure about 5 questions. As they go through the test, put a question mark if they don't know it, and that's where they need to go back to check their work. Because we always say, did you check your work? Well, we're not allowed to say that, excuse me. You're not allowed to say that on the actual test, but you teach them to go back and test to check their work, right? Yeah. So they need to go back and check their work, and the ones that had the question marks is where they should spend most of their time. So then they have a mission, and they have something that they need to be doing, and it's a very tangible thing. And if they can get the number of question marks they have down to their magical number, guys, it is amazing that when you set goals with them, and they can tell you exactly how many they can miss to make approaches, meets, or masters, or whatever it is. They can tell you the exact number. They hit it almost every time. This is not me just saying this. I've seen it happen 2 or 3 years in a row. It's not a secret. Let them in on what they need to do. And so that's just actually probably the hugest strategy. And take brain breaks and have a snack, and just, it's going to be okay. So this last week, teachers, just, you've got this. You did it. So just love on them, build them up, give them confidence, give them strategies on how to get through these 4 hours and feel good about it and keep their brains going. And everything's going to be okay. You did it. You're to the end of the year. We really have a month and a half to 2 months left. Summertime, spring is in the air. So thank you for watching. And if y'all have any other great strategies, teachers, that you could leave in the comments, something that is maybe like something that you love teaching your students and you don't think they would be successful without it, any tips, leave them in the comments, and hopefully some other educators may see it, or words of encouragement for all of the craziness that's going on in schools right now. And I hope you all have a great Monday night and rest of the week. Thank you. Bye.